Okay, so we're going to attempt to make purple Mardi Gras sourdough for a work party that I have this Tuesday. I've never celebrated Mardi Gras before. So to start, I have a cup of cold water, and then I warm up in the kettle a cup of hot water, so it's kind of like lukewarm. So altogether, 2 cups of lukewarm, room temp water is ideal, maybe like 100, 120 degrees. Okay, that looks right. Eyeballing half a cup of starter into my bowl. This jar was full a minute ago. That's how I know I'm ready to make it. That looks like about half a cup. Whisk it in. Okay, nice and frothy. Okay, so I have Baker's food dye, so you have to mix your own colors and they kind of give you like a key. And I'm gonna try to go for the neon purple. So they say, God, this is a lot. Okay, 18 drops of pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18. 6 blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I need 2 red. 2 drops of red. 1. I feel like there was 2. Okay, let's see what we get. I'm gonna blend it up. I don't know if that's purple. Maybe when I put the flour in. Okay. It's kind of indigo. 4 cups of bread flour. I do not weigh my sourdough ingredients. This is just what works for me. Everyone has their own way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I use the organic King Arthur. It's like their logo. Bread flour. And I'm going to mix this in. And then I add the salt and my stretch and fold. And that's it. This looks blue. This looks like cornflower blue. This does not look neon purple to me. A little bit more water. I just eyeball everything. I will say this is a beautiful color. Gorgeous. Then 2 teaspoons of pink Himalayan sea salt, or you can use Celtic sea salt. It's a little bit harder to find Celtic, usually you have to order that online. And then we're going to stretch and fold this with clean hands. The stretch and folds get easier as you go. Builds up a higher gluten strain and becomes strong. So the first one's always the messiest. Okay, I'm going to cover this and I'm going to stretch and fold 3 more times in increments, spaced out 30 minutes in between each stretch and fold. And I'll show you the next process. Okay, this is my sourdough after a few stretch and folds. You can see that this one was supposed to be lavender and this one was supposed to be purple, but you can see how much smoother the dough is now. Okay, it's the next day. I did my stretch and folds yesterday, and then before I went to bed, I put the dough in the refrigerator, and then this morning I placed each dough into the floured banneton baskets. I'm going to cover them, and then I'm going to put them back in the fridge for like an hour, and then it's time to bake. Okay, so this has been in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. You can do an hour. And then to save on parchment paper, I have these mats. And then this is how I take it out of the banneton basket. Flip it upside down. Hopefully this doesn't dye my table. Kind of spread that flour around nice and even. The bread is nice and firm. Then I take my bread lame and I do my scoring. I like to do a swirl. That's kind of like my signature. And then you place it in your heated Dutch oven. Covered. Bake it at 500 degrees for 30 minutes. Take the lid off. Bake it for 15 minutes so the top gets crusty. And then put it on your cooling rack. I already made the lavender one. Looks pretty brown though, but we'll see how this one turns out. And I'll show you guys at the end. Okay, so I just took it out of the oven. This is usually very hot to touch, but I'm going to try to put it on this drying rack real quick. Turned out pretty good. You can kind of see the swirl detailing here. And this needs to cool down for many hours. But it turned out pretty good, and maybe I'll do a slice to show you guys the inside, but I'm happy with it.